Guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Arrow Spin Testers. What to know before you buy. Okay, everything you need to know, actually. So I bought one, and I really like it. Best choice I made. And for $47.98, fantastic. And then the seller jacked it up to $51. But given the options, if all I want is just a spinner, and it would have been 51 bucks, I still would have spent the extra couple of bucks just because it is fabulous. It is quality built. It's got a nice wide aluminum base on it. I didn't care that the ends were 3D printed. It's a solid machine, and the ball bearings in it are magnifique. So don't be deceived though, because some people have been. This is not a spin tester. This is a tuner. That's all it is. Okay. At the end block, you've got a plate that you fold a piece of sandpaper in half that you cut to size, be it 400, 600 grit, whatever you're going to use to tweak the end up on your arrow. This is actually honestly a really pointless machine because it doesn't actually test the spin of your arrow to find defects in it. Because a lot of us are buying arrows from China, and I'm dealing with Akmos Arrow Company, or Akmos Archery, and I love their arrows. Okay, I mean, I bought them because my friend recommended them because he uses them. So I bought a set for my recurve, and then I bought these cool camo ones, thinking they'd be easier to find. Which, yes and no. I think lighted Nox would do me better. However, they're also very heavy, okay, for 500 spine. And I did have to retweak my bow for an extra 4 pounds to get my speed back up and bring the POI back up to where, close to where it was anyways. I only had one little minor elevation adjustment, but man, they fly like laser beams. So I bought a dozen of each to try them, and then I bought another 2 dozen of the camos, and I bought a spin tester. And I thought, okay, I want to see how well these spin because they fly like lasers, which is great. They group absolutely beautiful, but when you're starting to buy bigger batches, you're going to know that you may or may not run across some defects. And I had absolutely no issues with any of the arrows except for 7 that were questionable in the second batch because I seen some minor inconsistencies in a few of them, but the other ones were a little bit more than minor. Now, they still all flew straight into the target. No left, no right, no up, no down issues. But after doing a bunch of testing, I got a hold of the seller and I said, look, I got like 7 arrows here that are bad. He says, have you shot them yet? And I'm like, no. He says, well, shoot them. I says, okay. I did put them through the spin tester. But yeah, okay, I'll shoot them. I'll get back to you. So I shot them multiple times. And then as each one I knew flew absolutely perfect and grouped perfect, that's when I put those ones aside in the pile. So in the end, I found 4 of them that will not group. I can't even get close to the bullseye. So, all right. And then I respun the other ones. Yep, those are the 3 ones that were so minor, it's not even worth writing home about. But the other ones were definitely baddies. And so, anyways, I said, well, end result is I definitely have 4 here that will not group whatsoever out of the 7. So he said, okay. He says, I can do one of 2 things, your choice, okay? I can replace the 4 arrows on your next order, okay? Or I can refund you like 14 bucks, right? And because I bought 2 dozen, right? And we don't know which ones came out of which batch either way. I says, well, just do the 14 because my next order is going to be for a different bow anyways, because now I have tons of arrows for my compound, for my main bow that I hunt with, and I need more arrows for my other bows because I have 4 bows to feed, and one of them happens to have a 27-inch draw, so I don't need the extra length, right? And so, anyways, so he's going to refund me the 14, and it's like, perfect. So it pays to get an arrow spinner, okay? Especially when you're buying arrows out of China, but even any arrows, because it helps me to test my Easton arrows, my Predators, my Carbon Rebels, and to see how well they're all made. But you need a good quality spinner and something that's going to work properly. This is not a spinner, this is a tuner, okay? So this is in no way going to tell you how straight your arrows are. But people bought it thinking because it says spinner tester, and it is not, nor is it an inspector either, technically. So it's just for tweaking up the ends of your cuts. It's not even worth buying this, and I'm going to show you why in a moment, okay? So we move on to, this is the same machine on both ads. One's 29, one's 42. Pine Ridge. I watched a video this morning. A guy was using one of these Pine Ridge ones. And the guy obviously has, been into archery for a long time and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he has this one. And he bought some Chinese arrows from Shero Company, which I have found them to be actually a little bit shady from what I've been reading up on them. But whatever. Anyways, I've seen YouTubers too that have pro shops, and they also do videos. They have these, and I'm like, why would even a pro shop buy such a piece of crap? Because it's literally garbage. Like, I wouldn't give you a nickel for it. There's no bearings. They're just floppy washers, okay? Now, there are 45 ratings on this one, and there are some very interesting people here that really don't know what a quality tool even is. Not the best. Pretty cheap. There's a wobble in the disc that creates an uneven spin right off the start, making hard to read arrow straightness. No kidding, because it's a piece of garbage. But there's other people here, and it's like, oh, it's hard to find something better? Really? It's not that hard. You look on Amazon, duh. Okay? Like, seriously. Anyways, does the job all right? No, it doesn't. It's a piece of garbage. You're not ever going to get a true reading out of this thing. It is just absolute garbage. And if you buy this, man, you better go see a shrink because you're nuts. I mean, seriously. Now, here's the Glory toy. Now, I didn't think I had to spend $86, but when I started looking more into this thing on all the pictures and getting more into it, I'm like, this thing is actually pretty awesome. It's going to actually literally spin test your arrows. It's all metal construction. It's even got a cutting tool, so if you're making your own arrows or you need to cut like a little nip off, okay, it's going to do it. It's got a built-in manual cutter. And it's got a sander in the backside, so you can put your arrow into this end and tweak the cut edge off to get it, all cleaned up. That's pretty cool. And if you look at all the pictures and everything this thing does, and it spreads apart and everything, so, and it's like, wow. And you can take the ends right out and just use it as a straight out spin tester. And like, that's a quality piece of kit for $86. Good ball bearings in there too. It's like, wow. But I didn't think I needed something like this, and I still don't actually, because right now I'm not making my own arrows, and the arrows that I do buy are cut to the perfect length for me, so I can't trim anything. Otherwise, I'm screwed, right? Because I'm buying precise shaft-to-shaft cuts exactly how I need them, right? And that's the one thing I appreciate about Akmos as well, is they cut shaft to shaft for length, not including any parts inserted. So if you want a little bit more, you can get a little bit more of the length, and that's what I went with. I went with 28.5-inch shaft to shaft for my compound. Now it's a 28 draw, and but that's fine. And I have a 28 draw on my Nighthawk recurve, so I went with 28 shaft to shaft, and they're fantastic for that, for that particular bow. And then I've got other arrows, but anyways, this is the Glory toy. So if you don't want to have a power saw, which takes up hydro but also takes up a lot of bench space, and you want to get nice tweaked edges for your cuts, this thing does it all, including your spinning. Now, this thing, I would say, now that's worth buying. Okay, and for 86 bucks, I think it's worth every penny, considering the build quality, what it does, and everything. That's freaking cool. Makes your life so much easier, especially if you don't have a lot of table space either. It does it all, so that's pretty good. Now you have other options here for just straight out spinners. This was one I looked at, but I don't like things that are narrow, because narrow to me is a stability issue. I wanted wider, okay? However, if you're okay with narrow, you can, but let's see what the 1-star rating had to say. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so that guy doesn't count. Nothing on this one for reviews. But you know what? I mean, honestly, for a few bucks more, get what I got if all you want is a straight out spinner that's quality made. And it's got a good stable base on it. It's got good weight to it, and that's what I would do. But I mean, if you just want something cheaper, then fine. I paid $47.98. The guy did jack it to 51 bucks, but then again, there's a few different versions of mine up here that you got to be very careful on and really examine pictures really good, because it looks like mine, but it ain't the same bearings or the same hookups as mine, but it looks exactly like mine. So 51 bucks, there you go. Okay. This is the one I have. And also, all pictures are consistent in the bearings too. Pretty sure this is probably the same seller too. I think I added the link into my review on this one, but if I didn't, I'll add in the actual link from my order for you guys, so you get the exact same precise one. But this is what I went for this design, because it's nice and wide, it's very stable, it's got some good weight to it, and it is dead on accurate. The bearings run really nice and smooth too, so you won't have any issues there. And believe me, it really helped me find some bad arrows, and it also helped me find all my precision perfect ones too. So now I can go, this is my practice batch, this is my hunting batch, and these are ones we won't even shoot because they can't even group. So, you know what I mean? And it gave me a chance to also check the quality of my Easton arrows, my Predators. I've got some Carbon Rebels here, a few others. And, it's an invaluable tool. If you're going to get into archery, no matter what brand of arrows you're going to use or brands, it's handy to have one of these things, because you can find defective products really easy with this. Okay? That cheap piece of plastic crap at the washers, you're not going to find anything except for more problems. And some of those problems could actually show up that are not even a problem, which is why you need something that's more precision, like that one we just showed you. Okay, now you also have this one too. This one's kind of an interesting little conundrum. It's neat, and I'm like, okay, well, that's might be okay. There's one that looks identical to this that actually has a sander built in. This one doesn't, but it's 85 bucks. And I'm like, not in this lifetime, baby. 46 ratings? I don't know. What's this guy say? Translate to English. The bearings each have 0.006 inches of false round shape. It's impossible to measure an arrow precisely. Nice structure, but very poor bearing choice. Cost me $75 for 4 quality bearings to get an accurate reading. Well, okay, so 0.006 of a thou? That's pretty minor. But anyway, Arrow Inspector, good value, pressed with quality. Doesn't mean you can't get a bad product either. Just keep that in mind. It's a little expensive for the product. Yeah, how about rip off? You ripped yourselves off on this one, guys. So you could have got something better for far cheaper. Sorry, you lose. So, all right, people do make mistakes, but people also look at something and go, that really doesn't look that great after all. So how accurate could it be? And then they miss out on what's an awesome deal in the end, right? Because that can happen. Um, Anyways, this is why I always look stuff over. And I know tools way too well. I spent 10 years as a machinist. I've done the auto mechanic thing, auto body for way longer. I've made and designed and manufactured my own tools for special jobs just because to buy those tools was too costly. But when you have a machine shop, you can make anything you damn well please. And that's exactly what I did. And I made actually better quality than what I was buying for huge amounts of money. So kind of miss being a machinist, to be honest. I miss my shop. Anyways, but there's a lot of options up here. Now, if we just go here to get a little bit more of a variety, perhaps. Arrow, SPIN, tester. All right, so there's the spin tester. So we know that this one is crap at any price. This one's good. Okay, that's the one I have. That's just a tuner. That's all it does. I like that Glory machine we saw, though. I'm going to have to go back and get that again later and put it in my favorites. But I'm trying to find the other one that it does testing and tweaking. Just the tweak, though. Yeah. Spine testers, you can build one for less money. Trust me. I've seen a lot of guys on YouTube that have built their own for far, far less money than these. But kind of depends on what you want, you know. I mean, you know, if you got the money and you just feel like blowing the money and you don't want to try building anything on your own, well, then go spend your money and waste it, because that's exactly what you're doing, is wasting money. You could just build it for less. Anyways, but that's beside the point. I'm trying to find that other one. I probably won't. But yeah, you've got options. Just weigh the options, read reviews. Like even this and the one beside, well, actually this and down below is, 120? Are you on drugs? This is what I mean, right? This is where you get ripped. If you're paying 120, 6 poor slubs did. Aw, poor kids. They ripped themselves off from lack of investigating. Anyways. See, look at this here, and then look at this one here. They're exactly the same. This is $30. This is what I mean by too easy to get ripped off. Same freaking thing, $120. Like, seriously. Like, I question people's sanity some days. Why would you spend that kind of money? Anyways. This isn't the one I was looking for, probably. Yes, it is. This thing actually has a tuner at the end, so you can actually tune the ends. So it kind of does two things, right? And so $58, you get a spinner and you get a tuner to tune the ends up. Because sometimes it's just a little bit of a cut at the back. They didn't get 100% true. And if you spin that into place, right, poof, totally flat 90 degrees, problem solved. And you've removed very little material that makes no difference whatsoever. Okay? There you go. Anyways. So this is kind of the stuff you need to know before you spend your money and get yourself ripped off. You know, $39. This is the same machine as mine, right? $39. Now my seller has jacked his price up to $51, but that's fine, right? And but this is exactly the same machine as I have, right? So you can find it cheaper. You know, I mean, I got pretty fast shipping on mine too, so I can't complain. But either way, $39. They all compete with each other. Now, the difference here, this has a delivery fee. I did not pay a delivery fee for mine, I don't believe. I just paid $47.98, and it actually was free shipping. So, But anyways, this one's got a delivery fee, and it's still coming from friggin' China with that time frame, or maybe not. It's hard to say. But check out the guys. Like, this is sold by this guy, but this is the store, right? So if you click on the store, you get to see what else they carry. Okay, but whatever, you know. But this is the same one as mine. It's stable. It's got some weight to it. I have no problem with 3D printed ends. The thing is dead on. It is like perfectly accurate. The bearings run smooth as can be. And like I said, this is going to actually read your arrows really good. And it has the extra heft that the narrow one doesn't have. So, but you can get cheaper deals too. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys on this sort of thing anyways. So, take a look around Amazon. See what you need. That other one I'm going to go back and snag and put that in my shopping list because I like the idea of being able to cut and tune and spin at the same time. You know, why buy a pile of extra tools that you actually don't need, right? It's all built into one tool, and it's not bad for $80-some, you know. And like I said, I'm thinking about maybe in the future I might get into making my own arrows, you know, and just order the shafts, order the feathers, order all the parts, and I can custom make arrows myself. Or I could just take the cheaper route and just keep buying them from China because I have no issues with the Chinese arrows, and they treat me well when I do find some defects, so that's good, you know. But I don't know. It's to each his own in the end, you know. But please, please stay away from this. This is just garbage, you know. It is horrible, 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 horrible garbage. But then again, you're going to do whatever you want anyways. So, there you go. See ya.